Hey, what's up, everybody? Can you guys please like my video and subscribe to my channel, Mary Jane? It'll be greatly appreciated. Today, we're going to be talking about Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars, Season 7, Episode 10. This is the final episode, and the couples will find out if they are going home as a couple or going to go home separate. So, all the couples put their rings in a box in the previous episode, and they'll get their rings back at the end. But the episode starts off where it left off, with Joe pushing, kicking security, beating their ass, beating the producers because he's belligerent, drunk as fuck. He's drunk. And so the cops are called, the cops come, they actually speak to Joe. Joe comes out the house, he speaks to the cops and said he apologized, he's sorry for everything that he did. He's just gonna go upstairs and go to sleep. He's not gonna misbehave again, whatever. So anyways, the women bunked together and the men bunked together because it was a really big shit show, the last episode, between Gabby and Victor and Renee and Joe. So anyways, now security's on deck. They filled the house with security because they don't know what's gonna happen next, and they know Joe is not gonna hold. He has no limits. He's gonna go after whoever he wants to go after, but not his friends. So anyways, they wake up, they rise and shine. Joe is walking through the house, drinking water, doing whatever he's doing. Dr. Ish wants to talk to Joe and pull him to a side and talk to him. And Joe don't even like Dr. Ish. He was like, I don't want to talk. I don't give a fuck. Leave me alone. I'm not talking to you. So he doesn't talk to him or whatever. Renee talks to Dr. V, and Renee is saying, oh, I've never seen this behavior. This is brand new. I never experienced anything like this, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Crying, woe is me. So anyways, after that, Judge Toller, she comes down to give her final evaluation to all the couples because, like I said, this is the last episode of this season. And so all the couples, line up in the foyer and everything. And also, I would like to mention, Joe said, as he was avoiding Dr. Ish, he said to the guys that, JP and Buck, I believe in Victor, he says to them that, Renee set me up. Like, I didn't even know that she was molested or raped or abused until 6 days before we came here. She said it was going to be totally different. She totally just wild out, and she knew what the deal was and everything that was going on down in New Jersey or New York, whatever the fuck they live. And now she's coming here acting brand new. He don't appreciate it. He don't give a fuck. He don't care. And he shows that he doesn't care because he actually drinks again on this episode. Joe's a beast. So anyways, as the couples line up in the foyer, sit down, Judge Toller gives her final evaluation. And Judge Toller starts off telling Gabby, you never put your hands on somebody because you're a woman. You never hit somebody because you're a woman and you think that the man don't supposed to hit you back. And she was like, what if that man loses, control, or he forgets who you are and he attacks back? And she was just like, it's just so wrong for you to do that. Because what if he reach out and touch you back in the same way you touched him? And Gabby is from Bad Girls Club, and her baby's father, supposedly baby father, is Victor. And so, and you don't put your hands on a man like that. You just don't do that and think it's okay, because what if he returns the favor? And so Gabby's sitting there like da 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 da, like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, this whole season, Gabby has been attacking Victor, assaulting him, throwing things at him, hitting him, lying on him, saying awful things to him. It's just been a shit show between them two. So anyways, then she talks to Victor. She goes, Victor, a woman's always supposed to feel safe with you. And she goes, Judge Toller says, your woman is supposed to always feel safe with you. And Victor goes, she's not my woman. She's not my woman. She's a bitch. I'm like, oh my God, come on, Victor. Could you just control it? But we understand where he's coming from. Well, at least I do, because it's just been revealed to him on national TV that this child might not be his. You know what I mean? That she was sleeping around with somebody else, and now he's publicly embarrassed. And she totally screwed him in the worst way possible, because he changed his whole life to be with her. Anyways, and so we move, and so we're gonna move on from that because Victor's just like, whatever the case may be. But she's like, you guys have a decision to make, and you guys have a kid together. And then she Judge Toller also reiterate that you don't put your hands on a man and think nothing's gonna happen. And so then Dr. Ish jumps up and says to Victor, no man ever throws water, wine, or whatever in a woman's face. You don't do that with a real. And then he goes, she ate my woman. And Victor goes, only reason why I threw the wine is because I didn't want to hit her. That was just, I was so angry. So I threw the wine so I wouldn't hit her, basically. Which is not acceptable at all. Not an excuse at all. But we have seen Gabby's behavior, and I don't know how anybody can put up with Gabby in their right mind. So he might not be in his right mind. But we know Victor has been abused and blah, 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 in the third. So Dr. V makes sure he tells him that a real man walks away. A real man let it go. A real man comes back or diffuse a situation or whatever. So then they move forward, and then Judge Toller, she addresses Amy and Dylan, and she says to Amy, you don't have the right to pull the carpet underneath Dylan because you want to win an argument or you want to bring him down. And she also says to Dylan, Amy and Dylan are married, and Amy is from 19 Kids and Counting. And Dylan says, Dylan, your woman's always supposed to be on top. You're always supposed to make her feel number one, make her feel appreciated, make her feel special, make her feel smart or whatever. And he doesn't do that. He treats her like a child, basically. Because I believe that Amy acts like a child, and she's still stuck in a childlike behavior and a childlike mind because she has not healed from the abuse that she received as a child. So she's still in that stage. She hasn't grown up to an adult yet because she's still that little girl that was abused. And so, Judge Toller throws in that, you're not supposed to do that. That's wrong. And then they go back to an episode where Amy says to Dylan, when you treat me like a child, it feels like an old man is raping me all over again. And like, how can you say something like that to your husband? Like, if you're having an argument, to win the argument and to be manipulating your husband, you say, oh, every time you talk to me like that, I feel like I'm being raped by an old man. Like, how is he supposed to respond? How is he supposed to react to that type of information? And it also shows that you have not healed. You have not grown. You're still in that childlike mind. And so it's just like, I believe that she really needs counseling before their marriage can continue, because she's still a little girl. She's still that abused little girl because she hasn't healed from that. She hasn't forgiven the people that hurt her, or she hasn't got over the hurdle of what happened to her. She still blames herself, I believe. So anyways, they move on, and then they go to prima donna. So Judge Toller also addresses prima donna and Buck. Prima donna and Buck are a couple, and they're from Love and Hip Hop. And Judge Toller says, you are a prima donna, and you got this shine about yourself. You got this shine on your face. You got this glow about yourself. But only thing is, you don't believe. I wish you really would believe in yourself. I wish you really would believe that you are a prima donna, that you are beautiful, that you are sophisticated. But deep inside, she does not believe it, because they go back to a previous episode where prima donna says that she feels like she's misunderstood. She don't feel like she's the prettiest girl in the room. She has left self-esteem, and and then they also show Buck in the previous episode talking to her like, I wish you wouldn't second guess yourself or doubt yourself, or just be so hard on yourself. Just, be who you are, what I see. But so anyways, and be the prettiest woman that you want to be or whatever. And so prima donna's like, okay. And then she goes on to she talks to Joe and Renee, there's really nothing you can say about that. It's just that she says to Renee, do you want to continue to be abused? But you've known him for so long, so that counts for something. And Joe, if you leave Renee, it could be it could be even worse if you stay with Renee and you continue to abuse her and mistreat her and hurt her every day. So, you make your decision, basically. And then to and then to Ashley and JP, they're actually married. They're from the Bachelorette. So, basically, Judge Toller is saying to them, as you guys are so comfortable in your relationship, so comfortable with everything that you guys have, that you don't think there's room for growth or change. And then they go back to a previous episode where they show they show Ashley and JP saying that, they'll never cheat on each other. They're faithful to each other, and no one can come in and do anything. It was like, that's one thing my wife or my husband won't do is cheat. And Judge Toller reminds them that if needs are being neglected and you're not growing together and you just focus on everything is fine, nobody can mess it up. Somebody can come in and she's called the cleanup woman or the cleanup man, or she can be called Tyrone, Betty White or whatever. So she's saying that you guys get so comfortable and my partner won't do this, I won't do that, that you don't grow, you don't communicate together, that somebody can come in and destroy your foundation of what you do have, because your foundation is not solid. It's only built on, I know he won't do this and I know she won't do that. So basically, you guys got something to think about. So I guess I covered all the couples. I really wasn't trying to. So anyways, all the couples, they vacate and they go around the house, and then they're also told not to speak to each other until the ring ceremony, but that does not happen. So anyways, Dr. V brings Gabby to a side. She tells Gabby, that hall pass, and when the guys went out to the club or whatever, Victor was really touchy feely on another woman. They might have kissed, they might have not. They made out, and it was all over each other. So then, you can't tell Gabby this type of information because she's cuckoo bananas. So anyways, Gabby runs over to Renee and Ashley and tells him, like, he cheated on me. He did not cheat on you. Ugh. So anyways, she runs over and tells them that and says that, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And so Renee says to Gabby, Renee is being very smart at this point and giving some wise advice, saying to Gabby, only reason why Victor probably made out with that girl or danced with that girl in a flirtatious way is because of the lie detector test, because you lied, and he might not be the father of the child, so he was trying to find a way to get back at you. But does Gabby heed that advice? No. She goes, I'm gonna go confront him. And then Renee goes, no, don't go confront him, don't say anything to him, just let it be. You say whatever you have to say at the ceremony. So anyways, Gabby does not listen. So Gabby runs over there to where the guys are outside chilling by the pool in shade or whatever, pillows, drinking, eating, and also Joe is drinking. So security runs up. Security's everywhere now. So security's following Gabby, Renee, and Ashley as they're going over there to confront the guys. Well, Gabby is. And so then Gabby confronts Victor, begins saying, but Buck stopped and said, hey, don't throw no shit over here. Don't throw nothing, because, they got shit set up outside or whatever. And Gabby's known for throwing stuff and throwing the peach cobbler, throwing everything. And so they say, yeah, don't come over here throwing nothing. Don't come over here throwing anything, basically. And then she goes, no, I'm not going to throw anything. And so, Dr. Ish is standing there as well. And then Buck says to Victor, you don't got to explain yourself to nobody. You don't got to explain yourself to her, because you might not even be that child's father, and she lied, and blah, blah, blah. And Joe jumps in like, yeah, she lied. You don't got to do that. And so then Victor says, hey, guys, stay out of my business, which they should. And then Dr. Ish says, hey, guys, mind your business. And so then after that, Gabby says, oh, did you cheat on me? You made out with a girl? He goes, I did not cheat on you. I did not make out with anybody like that. What are you talking about? She goes, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Blah, blah, blah. And so Victor's not trying to hear it. So Dr. Ish says, come on, Gabby, let's move forward. Let's go. So then they all move. All the ladies go back inside the house with Dr. Ish, and the guys are still outside, and they're talking and drinking. And then, Buck says to Victor, if you give Gabby a ring, I'm gonna lose a lot of respect for you. And so does Joe. Joe says if you, no, not Joe. Dylan says, yeah, if you give her a ring, we all gonna smack you. Like, because they know this relationship is toxic. And they know that Gabby is very immature and she's just violent, volatile, and she's not coherent at all to anything. She doesn't believe she does anything wrong, basically. And so basically that's that on that part. And so then after that, they move forward and the women are getting ready to get dressed because they're about to have this ceremony. About to have this ceremony where these couples will find out if they're going to go home together as a couple or not. Basically, before I say that, the people I think that should stay together, I think I probably already said it, is Buck and Prima Donna and Amy and JP. I mean Ashley and JP. Them two should stay together. The rest of the couple should fall and run out. But Amy, yeah, Amy and Dylan. Amy really needs counseling. She really needs help because she's still suffering from that abuse. She's still in that abuse stage and abuse syndrome that she can't really fulfill her marriage with Dylan because of what she's suffering from. So basically, the ladies are talking and Renee says, well, if Joe puts a ring in that box for me, he better have a big fat apology for me and everybody else. And the lady's like, yeah, but he needs help. He has a drinking problem. He's an alcoholic. And then Renee goes, I'm not going to judge anybody because I've been to rehab myself, but I haven't been to rehab for alcohol. I never had an alcohol problem. I never been an alcoholic or whatever. I use other drugs, basically. So Renee says she totally understands when someone's suffering from a debilitating disease like alcoholism. So as we move forward, Prima Donna said, I wish Judge Tola would have said more to Buck about communication and talking. And then Ashley says, I don't know if things don't change. Are we able? Ashley says, are me and JP able to communicate? Are things going to change? Or is it going to be like the way it is for the rest of our lives? And so then Dylan talks to the guys about his feelings, like, am I always going to treat Amy like a child? Or am I going to be able to respect her and talk to her like normally? You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know. And then Buck says, come on, JP, cut the shit. You and Amy failed your lie detector test, so there is an issue, there is a problem, so stop acting like it's paradise between you two. And and JP is like, if it's actually gonna give me attention, are we able gonna be to grow together, move forward together? So they're having these questions, and Buck is like, I don't know where my ring is at. I don't know if we're gonna stay together or not. I don't know if I can deal with Prima Donna if she doesn't changes. So basically each couple is venting to each other. I mean, each person is venting, and different groups. The guys are venting, and the females are venting as well, and they're getting ready for this marriage ceremony where either they go home as a couple or they leave. So it's just like, okay. And then JP is just like, I don't know if Ashley's gonna put effort into change. Am I gonna put effort into change? And they was like, I just want to be happy and safe. So now we're down to the marriage of the wedding ceremony, the ring ceremony. And the first couple up is Buck and Prima Donna. Prima Donna gives a wonderful speech about how much she loves him, how much she cares for him. And then Buck gives a wonderful speech as well. Like, he loves to have her on his shoulder. Strong, sophisticated, knowledgeable, wise woman. And as I mentioned, Prima Donna could throw down in the kitchen. How can anybody throw that away? So anyways, Prima Donna opened her box as a ring. Buck opened his box. About to open his box, but he goes, before I open my box, I want to set a date for us to get married, August something. So they kiss, they're in love, they're like, woo woo. So they're gonna get married. And I believe that these two couples should be together because they complement each other. They just have a little bit to work on, which is just communication. And then Prima Donna dialing down on being so manly. You know what I mean? And then Buck opening up and having more communication. Basically, that's what they need to work on. But other than that, they're, to me, they're a great couple, and I think Buck is a wonderful guy, and I think Prima Donna is a good woman as well. It's just that she feels that she has to fight all the time. She has to be so dominating all the time, and she just got to pull back to dominating people and let him come in and be a man. She can't be the man and a woman in a relationship, you know? So anyway, so hey, that's wonderful. So they're together. So JP and Ashley, they're called next, and Ashley is like, she says these wonderful things to JP. JP says these wonderful things to Ashley. But when they start off, JP hands Ashley a rose because she's had always handed him a rose from their TV show. So he goes, I want to give you a red rose. And so they both open up their ring box. Boom. They're together. And so it's wonderful. It's nice. I knew they should be together. They just have communication skills that they need to work on, and they need to hire a babysitter or a nanny like half the time, so Ashley can spend more time with her husband basically, and they got the dough so they can do it. And so then moving now next is Gabby and Victor. Gabby was terrible on this show, like OMG. So anyways, Gabby and Victor come up, and then, you know, they say good. Gabby says good things about Victor. Victor says good things about Gabby, and then Victor opens up his box, and there's a ring for Gabby because he still wants to make it work. He wants to try with her because in all the episodes, Victor wants to be a father. He wants to have a mother and a father in the home, something that he never had or whatever. And plus, he lives with Gabby and shit like that. So, you know. And then Gabby, OMG, she opened up the box. There's no ring. And she was just like, you know, we're here together, blah, 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 but it's not going to work. And you bring out the ugliness in me. No, you've always been ugly. And it's just been solidified on TV how ugly you can be in the inside and how low down and dirty as a woman and as a person you are. So hopefully the grandparents are watching over that child and that baby, and Victor gets a DNA test and they find out or whatever. So then Gabby, this is him or whatever, but I believe Gabby didn't have a ring in a box for him because she's bitter, angry, and mad, and she wants to get him back for making out or dancing with this woman at the club the previous episode, because Gabby is the type of person that can't let anything go, and she has to dig. If you dig at her, she has to dig at you. She always has to have one up on you. So having this one up on Victor was just basically what she did. Do I believe they should be together? No, they're too toxic, too violent for each other. So anyways, they go on their merry way. So now we have the last couple is what? Joe? No, not the last couple. It is not, I'm not going to say Joe and Renee. I would say we're going to go to Amy and Dylan. They stay together. Whoopie-doo. We knew that was going to happen. Amy pretends like she doesn't have the ring and she doesn't want to be with him, and then she pulls it out of her chest and said, yes, of course, let's be together forever. So boom, we're done with them. So now the biggest show of it all is going to be Renee and Joe. So it's Renee and Joe turn. They don't say pleasantries to each other. Renee goes, I am really happy that we came here. I'm really happy and glad that I'm leaving here without you. And she walks off and leaves him there like a prima donna, like she had to just steal the show, and she feels so good and so happy. Whatever, she goes, I'm really glad we came here. I'm really glad I'm leaving without you. And she feels like she got her dignity and her respect back by leaving Joe at the altar. So Joe was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. He grabs his bags. He says, wish you good luck, JP and whoever else, and he bounces, and Renee says, yeah, I got my respect back. No, you don't, because you was a shit show on this episode, and I feel like you set Joe up to humiliate him on TV, which is terrible. But anyways, I also want to get back to the time where Buck is talking to Victor, and Buck says something really important to Victor. He goes to Victor that Gabby may never be your girlfriend again, but she's always gonna be your family because she has your child. So on that note, please subscribe to my channel, like my video. I would appreciate it greatly. Thanks.